Thank you to Simthic, accessible via sim.gg for the weapon stats used in making this video. Link in the description. Hello, this is the 5th video in a series I've been calling Final Meta, an exploration of infantry weapons in Battlefield 5, following its final content update. This video covers the 3 low-damage semi-auto rifles. This includes the M1A1 Carbine, the Gewehr 1.5, and the AGM-42. The low-damage semi-autos generally have damage on the lower end, requiring either more shots to kill, a focus on headshots, or in the case of the Gewehr 1.5, to be in closer ranges. That said, their main strength among semi-autos is their spammability in one way or another. Combining spammability with the accuracy and fire control of semi-autos produces some of the most versatile, independent, or aggressive weapons in the game, making them almost assault rifle wannabes. The combat role I suggest for the AG-M42 is light infantry, as it's a weapon you use at a distance, away from the center of the fight where tanks are more likely to be. For the M1A1 Carbine and Gewehr 1.5, I suggest the Vehicle Buster combat role. The suggested sight for the AG-M42 is the 3x scope, as it's essentially a long-range spammer. My suggestion for the M1A1 and 1.5 are the iron sights, which are very clear for the 1.5 and decently clear for the M1A1, and provide at least some zoom and a maximum aim-down sight speed. For gadgets, the M1A1 and 1.5 both go well with my standard suggested anti-tank gadgets, since they are a good fit for the Vehicle Buster combat role, the AT Bundle Grenade, Piat, and Lunge Mine. The weapons are among the few semi-autos arguably best for getting in close to tanks, much like typical assault rifles. The AG-M42 stats, on the other hand, lend it more to the frag grenade, bazooka, and AT mines. The AG-M42's terrible ammo reliability stems largely to having a small magazine of only 10 rounds, 11 with the magazine upgrade, that deal the lowest amount of damage within its specified max damage range. This amounts to a bottom-of-the-barrel kill capacity per magazine for semi-autos. The reload, however, is relatively short with a detachable magazine upgrade, so a flamethrower and incendiary grenade wouldn't help as much. So you might as well deal more damage in close quarters to infantry with the frag grenade and place mines to harass vehicles while you are away from a point, using them like detectors so you can pivot towards them and begin sniping them with your bazooka if it comes to that. The sidearm I suggest for the M1A1 is the Type 94. Its damage profile meshes well with the M1A1, and you'll only need it for the rare emergency. For the AG-M42, I suggest the Ruby, as the Ruby can both act as a salve for its poor ammo reliability, with its fast draw and its larger magazine for times when you find yourself in close quarters fights. And finally, I suggest the PPK suppressed for the Gewehr 1.5. This might seem like a particularly strange suggestion, but my reasoning is that the Gewehr 1.5 doesn't actually have a particular need that a normal sidearm can meaningfully contribute to. However, the PPK suppressed is so different from the Gewehr 1.5 that it sort of can act as the role of a more flanking utility in the rare instance when you want that, because of its suppressed nature. I went with the PPK instead of the Wellrod or suppressed M1911 because those work better to make up for a short-range primary or poor ammo reliability, respectively. Neither of which are problems the 1.5 has at all, so you might as well go for a suppressed pistol that has a faster time to kill. The melee I suggest is a blunt weapon for the M1A1 and AG-M42, as the damage model of both make it so that 2 hits from them is just enough damage that you can finish off a target with a single hit from the blunt weapon. Though I should say, a single headshot and a hit with your blunt weapon will not do the same due to semi-auto rifles' reduced headshot multiplier of 1.8. For the Gewehr 1.5's melee weapon, I suggest a knife, as the close range damage of the 1.5, 36 per shot, synergizes with the knife well, as they deal 35 damage per slice, and the knives swing the fastest of all of the melee weapons, as well as a 180-degree angle of attack for one-hit assassination kills. For the upgrade trees, the Gewehr 1.5 should get left, left, right. It's the only semi-auto where I'd recommend a mobile hip-firing build first rather than one meant for precision, or at least ADS corner stocking. The closest another gun has to this is the alternative Turner build I mentioned in the mid-damage semi-auto video. But this leans even more on close quarters and has much better ammo reliability. The risk that comes with such a build like this is that its slow firing rate lends it to being inconsistent. But you can make up for this by pre-firing and mag dumping. For the M1A1, the tree I suggest is right, right, left. This emphasizes the M1A1's mobile accuracy and aggression, as the weapon is generally best for middle ranges, which is much like assault rifles. In particular, you want to aim for headshots, as the M1A1's damage from 0 to 50 meters is 27.8, which is exactly the right amount of damage for headshots to reduce the number of hits needed for semi-auto rifles, making it perform much like assault rifles in this way as well. And its ammo reliability is mathematically strong for semi-autos. Its ability to significantly reduce its number of shots to kill with headshots further strengthens this factor, making it an excellent frontline weapon. And finally, the AG M42 should get right, left, right. This build is largely to improve long-range performance to its maximum. The weapon is best used at the extent of its damage over range, which is a completely flat line of 27.8 damage, exactly the same as the M1A1, only double the range, 100 meters instead of 50. The selection also mitigates the very bad ammo reliability of the weapon the most with the detachable magazine upgrade. These weapons have very damage over range profiles, something neither of the other two groups of semi-auto rifles have. That is, the middle damage rifles and the high damage rifles profiles are identical within their respective groups. With these low damage rifles, however, the time to kill varies more significantly, and, due to their low damage nature, this is arguably the weakest aspect of these guns, their time to kill. Of these three though, the rifle with the fastest time to kill up to 30 meters is the Gewehr 1.5. This isn't necessarily anything special on its own, as the mid-damage rifles all edge it out in the same range and go further to 50 meters with better recoil, and they even have a longer range for effective headshots, where the 1.5 can only reduce the hits to a kill with a headshot consistently up to 9 meters, compared all the way to 29 meters for the mid-damage rifles. And of course, the M1A1 and Ag M42 both have the exact same bullets to kill within their respective maximum damage ranges, and it's slow, though made significantly faster in both cases with headshots. And considering the relatively low recoil, headshots are very achievable. With the Gewehr 1.5, if you have the rifle out and you think enemies are near, you should already be firing. You shouldn't stop firing until things are quiet again. This is because the Gewehr 1.5 has the largest capacity for kills in the entirety of the assault class, and by a large margin, being capable of theoretically killing 10 infantry units with one magazine. Firing constantly makes you noisy and unstealthy, so stick to teammates. Pull out the PPK suppressed if you find yourself alone, and only pick fights that start in your favor. If you do attract unwanted attention, find cover, ready your 1.5, and start firing at the location you think the threat is going to come from. For the M1A1, you should spam the weapon as quickly as you can to achieve its best time to kill, generally aiming for the head. And you shouldn't fear mag dumping too much, though the reload is much snappier if you have a round in the chamber. In close quarters, the time to kill for the M1A1 is slow enough and the mag size just large enough that pre-fire can be useful, but be selective about it. Feel free to generally be on the front lines with it, as its relative flexibility make it a good weapon for an anti-armor point man. With the AG M42, aim deliberately for headshots at the longest ranges, and at the middle ranges, use it as if it were just an M1A1, though in this case with a smaller mag and better accuracy. Stick to the rear of your team, and stick to cover for its frequent reloads. To wrap this all up, the low-damage semi-autos are the most varied category of weapons in the assault class, almost sort of a junk drawer of different tools, each seeming to focus on very specific ranged engagements. Close range with the 1.5, mid-range with the M1A1, and long range with the AG M42. The main unifying positive traits of the weapons is that they are all more inclined to work well with being rapidly fired and spammed. If you have the trigger finger and like to fill the air with lead with each trigger pull in a more controllable firing experience compared to fully automatic assault rifles, these are the weapons for you. Thank you for watching my video to the end. If you'd like to support me, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.